What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mark Goes Outside, where your host, Mark, that's me, goes outside and does something really exciting. And in this episode, we are going white-tailed deer hunting in South Florida. That's right, Florida. Not the place that most people think of when they're thinking of deer hunting, but there are deer here, and they might be small, but they provide the best venison on the planet. So let's go out there and fill the freezer. Alright guys, so it is shitty, it is raining, and we had to change our approach, so we are just doing the ground hunt. I'm just riding down these roads with my e-bike, hoping to spot something off in the distance, so I can try and sneak up and get a shot. Hard to be sneaky right now, but luckily these frogs creating a lot of cover, a lot of sound cover. So my strategy for this day was basically to look for groups of deer that were feeding, and at this time of year there's a lot of beautyberry in this particular area, so I was looking for groups of does that might be feeding on beautyberry and hoping that there might be some bucks with them. So here I spotted a deer about 200 yards away, and I can't really tell what it is, so I decided to make a move and get a little bit closer so I can get a better look at this deer. The strategy for spot and stalking is pretty simple. You always want to try to come at the deer from a downwind side, or at least a crosswind side, and try to keep some sort of item between you and the deer, and walk towards that item so that they can't see your movement behind it. So you just saw me approaching this palm tree right here, and the deer were on the other side of that, and then I stop and I just take a look and see if I can get eyes on them again, and then find another object that you can work towards and use to keep between you and the deer. Here I finally spot the deer again, and I realize that they're does, or at least there's a doe. I can't see the other ones just yet, so I sit here and watch for a while, because what I'm looking for is whether they're acting like a buck might be pushing them around, and that's pretty obvious when they're moving kind of frantically and they're looking behind them constantly. But these does were just chilling, they were just eating beautyberry, not a care in the world. So it kind of made me feel like there probably wasn't a buck. Oh, there's a younger one with her. But they are not acting like a buck is chasing them. They're just in here munching on these beautyberries, they're everywhere. Wind's blowing down towards me. There's 3 of them. And I've got my leafy suit on so they can't see anything. Nevertheless, I moved up so that I was 20 yards from the trail that they had walked, in hopes that a buck might just be following and not chasing them. I sat there for a while, but no buck showed up.
Those does are right there, about 80 yards. But I don't want to spook them. But I do want to see. There's like another field up here. I'm gonna sneak through here, see if there's any action in that field.
I decided to just follow the deer for a while, just in case a buck did show up.
There they are again. And I've been following these does for probably about an hour. And all that I have learned is that there's a shitload of beautyberry and muscadine grapes back here. It's a great foraging spot for deer. If only one of these does was hot, there'd be bucks all over this spot. Alright, so going into another spot. This is a spot that we found yesterday and we were really excited about, and then found out there's a tree stand, 2 tree stands set up right next to the scrapes that we found. And the people that were sitting in those tree stands both shot a buck this morning. So my theory is, in order for there to be 2 bucks in the same spot at the same time, there's got to be a hot doe in here. So I'm going to sneak in on the downwind side of this opening, this field, and see if I can't spot any deer activity. There's a doe right up here.
So as I'm making my way across this big open prairie, I spot a deer, a doe, that's working its way towards me. But I know that if there is a buck behind her, I'm not going to be able to get close enough because I'm sticking out like a sore thumb because I'm out in the open. So I wait until she gets behind this palmetto bush that's up ahead of me, and I start booking it straight towards her, knowing that I'm either going to get busted or I'm not going to get close enough anyway. So that's me getting in close, and she stayed behind that palmetto bush the entire time I was moving up. Once I get to this tree, I'm about 30 yards away from the palmetto bush that she's behind. And even though I'm pretty certain that she's alone, since she didn't look like she was getting chased, it's always a good idea to knock an arrow, because when she comes popping around that corner, if there's a buck there, I want to be ready. So I get an arrow knocked and I start ranging the spots that I think a deer might come walking out of from behind that bush. I wait for a while and she doesn't come out, so after a little bit I decide to move up, thinking she might be bedded down behind that palmetto bush. now that I'm at this bush, I can see around it and over it, and it's pretty clear to me that there's no buck with this doe. And if she's not bedded down, she's absolutely tiny. So I start kind of just trying to figure out how much I can get away with and how close I can actually get before I get busted.
There it is. I knew it was right there. I see another deer right there.
The answer is about 3 yards. And I was right, this thing was absolutely tiny. It must have been a fawn, young of the year. And as soon as it blew at me, you can see Mama Doe coming out from the right side of the screen here, coming to check on her baby.
That thing is adorable. It's trying to get downwind of me. Oh my god, that thing is so cute. Here comes Mama. Yeah, she's trying to get downwind. Yeah, I'm busted. She's about to blow.
So Mama and the little one were reunited, and they stood there for a while trying to figure out if there was any danger, because obviously I'm wearing a leafy suit, and if you stand pretty still, especially when it's windy, you just kind of look like a bush to them, and so they weren't really sure what it was. But eventually I got tired of waiting, and I decided to strike a pose and send them packing.
I'm over it. I don't want them to fuck off. That actually worked pretty good. Sweet. She didn't take off fucking screaming. So, just spooked those two does. They took off this way, and as I was walking, just watched another doe come through here. But she was scooting like she was being chased. So I snuck up here as quick as I could. I'm just trying to get an idea of how far some of these potential shots might be, in case a buck just comes through here. Okay. Got it. 20, 30, 40. Come on, buck. Show yourself. I just know somewhere in here there's a buck bedded down with a doe. He's breeding. And I just have to find them. That's it. Gotta find them and then see them before they see me. Easy. There goes a little doe. Two does. Two does right there. Little spike buck following behind them. And a pile of turkeys right there. There goes that little spike. this is exciting. Gives me a little bit of hope. Oh look, they're gonna come right to me.
All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I know I definitely enjoyed the hunt, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to harvest anything, but I did see 30 different deer, and of those 30, probably got 20 of them in bow range during that weekend. So it was a great start to the season. There's still a lot of season left, so hopefully I can knock one down here pretty soon. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this kind of content. Like, I know that this 360 camera doesn't have the best resolution, especially at longer ranges, but when I'm spotting stalking, it's really kind of the only option that I have. So I was just trying something new. So let me know if you liked it, and if you do, I'll keep doing more in the future. Anyway, make sure that you guys like and subscribe to the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.